Had Sinn Féin been elected, it's now certain that they would have maintained Ireland's cultural heritage. They would have restored financial stability, and they most certainly would have created a true democratic republic. In the weeks leading up to the general election in 2011, the pundit's choice, Fine Gael, issued a change to the policy on the Irish language. Irish in secondary schools would now become optional for Leaving Cert. As this erosion of Irish identity was announced, Sinn Féin's bright new TD, Pearse Doherty, told a mass of waiting journalists of his fears for our native tongue.
Because Fine Gael are determined to end the Irish language as a compulsory subject in the Leaving Cert. If that happens, it could lead to the end of the Irish language as we know it.
Fear of losing the essence of our Irishness, our language, sent a tone of revolution through the state. Anne Gallagher of the Irish Times wrote, "Poll after poll regarding the Irish language has confirmed the majority of the people of this country are supportive of state efforts to protect the language. Experts have said that efforts are necessary if minority languages such as Irish are to survive." This land of saints and scholars was divided, and this division deepened after Doherty said, "Sinn Féin will fight Fine Gael tooth and nail through the parishes and throughout townlands on this policy, because it is a long-term issue and will have serious consequences for our future." And this is what happened next.
Good evening and welcome. 13 people have appeared in Dublin District Court this evening, charged with various public order offences after a day of violent protests in the city centre. The defendants are aged between 17 and 30 and include 2 women. Each of the accused has an address in Dublin. 3 are foreign nationals. The centre of Dublin became a battleground this afternoon as hundreds of Republican protesters clashed with Gardaí along some of the capital's main thoroughfares. The trouble broke out just before 1 o'clock at the junction of Parnell and O'Connell Streets, just yards from where the protesters had gathered. The demonstration was called off, but further skirmishes broke out at O'Connell Bridge, Aston Quay, Fleet Street, Temple Bar and Nassau Street. Gardaí say that so far 41 people have been arrested and 14 people, including 6 Gardaí, taken to hospital. The injured Gardaí have since been discharged. Dublin City Council estimates the cost of the clean-up at some €50,000. Our reporter Barry Cummins has been following the day's events and joins us now from O'Connell Street. Barry?
Aston Quay, Parnell Square, North Frederick Street and also into Temple Bar, all areas of Dublin, Eileen, that were seeing very different and very disturbing scenes earlier today. Protesters were gathered at the Parnell Monument at the top of O'Connell Street. Suddenly, Gardaí, journalists, photographers and cameramen came under attack. Slabs of concrete which had been lying on the ground were used as weapons. Bricks were thrown and bottles. Firecrackers were also hurled at random targets. A number of Gardaí were injured on O'Connell Street. They were dragged to safety by their colleagues. RTE journalist Charlie Bird was singled out by a group of men who began attacking him. He was rescued by Gardaí.
Listen, it was all over in seconds, but they just repeatedly punched me in the face with their fists, and I just ran. I couldn't believe it. But there was absolutely no doubt that the people who set upon me, they knew who I was, they knew that I worked for RTE.
A Sinn Féin spokesman today once again called on the government to hold back on these draconian measures and listen to the cries of the people.
That they reverse this ridiculous assault on the Irish language. It doesn't make sense to me that an Irish party as such as Fine Gael will want to see English compulsory but doesn't want to see Irish compulsory.
Republicans' anger was further compounded by the non-inclusion of leader Gerry Adams in the leaders' debate. Micheál Martin said,
I want a series of substantial debates with the other party leaders,
Okay.
2 3-way debates and head-on debates with each party leader to have a different election to previous
So
election.
2 3-way debates, that's you,
Yes.
Enda Kenny and Eamon Gilmore.
Yes.
Why not Gerry Adams and John Gormley as well?
Well, I've no difficulty in doing one-to-ones with Gerry Adams, and I'll do a one-to-one with Gerry Adams, and I'll do a one-to-one with John Gormley, because I think the country...
But you wouldn't bring them into a
Well, you
5-way?
can't have 5 ways, it wouldn't be feasible in my view. I think the 3 main parties, it's justifiable to have Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil and Labour in one 3-way. I think one has to be practical about that.
Sinn Féin President Gerry Adams voiced his frustration in an interview with RTE News.
Brian, can I take the opportunity to protest at Sinn Féin's exclusion from the debate tonight? You know, I'm trotted on here for 4 minutes. RTE are public service,
Right.
and it is not fair on citizens out there that they don't hear all sides of the argument.
The problems found in contemporary Ireland will not be fixed quickly. They require stalwart work and, above all, inclusion.